final with your host, Derek Hobson.
And this is what it's all about. Welcome, I say welcome for the very last time to New Faces. That's the last bit of sadness you're going to hear from me over the next hour, because it's really an hour of celebration for all the lucky acts that have made the final, and for one of them, this gold busker, and as well that trip once again to Las Vegas. We've been counting all these acts over the past 5 years. We've come up with a total of 933. And really, we've left out one very important act. 31 members in that act. They belong to the orchestra, and they've looked after the interests of all those acts over the past 5 years. So we thought to start off today, this last show, we start off with their particular tribute. After all, the show is all about stardom. That's their theme. So, gentlemen of the orchestra, Johnny, it's all yours. Indeed. Thank you. That was the Johnny Patrick New Faces Orchestra there, almost maximum marks and 2 for his jacket. Anyway, off we go now. They've set the scene for today's final drama, and we have the acts who are going to play their part, starting with Poacher, ladies and gentlemen. Poacher. And next, Civvy Street. Good luck, Chris. Civvy Street. Next from Derby, a fine jazz guitarist, Mr. Mike Johnson. Yes. 2 great comics, Mr. Baz Harris and Mr. Alan J. Bartley. Yes. Good luck. Lots of great singers. We've got Pat O'Hare and Kirk St. James. Good luck. Thank you. And 2 lovely ladies, the lovely Patti Boulay and Stella Starr. Good luck. There we are. That's the bill then today. 9 acts. And that's the 9 out of all those acts that we've seen in the past. Well, now to the panel. The very last panel. And we have a 6-some today. Not a 4-some, but a 6-some. So will you welcome, starting with agent and producer, Mr. Peter Pritchard. Next, our only lady on the panel today from the Daily Express, the lovely TV journalist, Miss Rosalie Horner. Nice to see you. Rosalie, and she takes her place. Well, you know, everybody wants to be a star, and this gentleman certainly is a star. Mr. Danny LaRue. Hello, Dan.
Welcome,
Welcome, sir. Well, you know, of course, the little gold busker goes to the winner, but also that very important trip to Las Vegas. He's been here on 3 previous occasions. The executive vice president of the MGM Grand Hotel, where the winning act appears. It is, of course, Mr. Bernie Rothkopf. Nice to see you. Enjoy yourself. What can I say about the last of our panellists today? I suppose you could call them the Batman and Robin of television. The Lone Ranger and Tonto, Mr. Tony Hatch and Mr. Mickey Most. And there we are. That's the 6 on the panel. They've got an hour of great talent to watch. The first act is ready to go. You know, I was talking to one of this act just before the show, and he was saying that it's really meant 3 years of hard graft taken away from them, because appearing on this show has resulted in recording contracts and tours all over the place. That's after just 2 appearances. Here they are with their new record called So Afraid, Poacher.
Rumors been traveling since I've been out of town, saying that you had another fella coming round. Think how you would feel if you were in my shoes. Understand it's a lonely man's got these 2-time blues. I sure could use some whiskey or something for my nerves, 'cause I ain't stopped this shaking since I first heard the word. Everybody's seeing what's only mine to see. Somebody's head is on my pillow where mine's supposed to be. But you got me so worried that it all might be a waste of time. Oh, and I'm so afraid of knowing you're no longer mine. So worried that it all might be a waste of time. Oh, and I'm so afraid of knowing you're no longer mine. It didn't take me long to see what you were all about. My bags are packed, I'm on the way to catch the first train out. You might find a memory relayed in this song when you said that this all boy been away one day too long. But you got me so worried that it all might be a waste of time. Oh, and I'm so afraid of knowing you're no longer mine. Oh, and I'm so afraid of knowing you're no longer mine. Oh, and I'm so afraid of knowing you're no longer mine.
Then, that was Poacher, first act today. We're well on our way now. That was the first act, and they're carrying the hopes there of all those viewers, I'm sure, up there in Warrington. And it was called So Afraid. I'm sure our next artist isn't afraid one bit. A very versatile professional singer. You've seen him before on this programme. He did very well on both occasions. And here he is today with a song, incidentally, a song written for him by two viewers, two songwriters from Wales who were watching him the first time around, Craig Burton and Michael Lloyd-Jones. They wrote him this song, they sent it to him, and that's the song he's going to sing for us. Hit and Run Lover, Mr. Pat O'Hare.
I was just an innocent bystander, standing on the outside of love. You read about me in the papers, might even make TV. I was just a victim of circumstances. Things went beyond my control, but fate took a hand and just saved me, to leave me on my own. Ooh, you struck me down. You're a hit and run lover. You're a hit and run lover. You knocked me down, you ran away. I called your name, you wouldn't stay. There I was, just minding my own business, watching the world rushing by, when out of the blue you just happened. You didn't have to try. Ooh, you struck me down. You're a hit and run lover. Ooh, you struck me down. You're a hit and run lover. Ooh, you struck me down. You're a hit and run lover.
There we are then, that was Pat O'Hare, second act in Hit and Run Lover, the song. I'm sure a lot of people watching this programme backed Lucius to win the Grand National yesterday. I wonder whether or not they'll be equally as good at picking a winner from these 9 acts on the show. The panel sit there, they've already seen those 2 acts. They're going to take some time, I'm sure, making up their minds about which act is going to win this one. We have an hour or so to wait for that. But meanwhile, we have some fun coming on now. A big bundle of fun in a very small frame. A gentleman from Nottingham who really made us laugh no end the last time. I'm sure he's going to do the same today. Mr. Baz Harris, yeah!
Oh, lovely. Nice to be back on New Faces again. No time for laughter, hang on. Nice to be back on New Faces again, it's really great. Because this is it, this is the one, the biggie. This is the one. The winner goes to Vegas. And I'm ready.
Viva Las Vegas!
Oh, sorry about that. Hang on, talk about yourself a minute. I was only joking anyway. I was only joking. Vegas. Would it be nice to go there, though? Vegas! All the stars, all the people, anybody who's anybody goes to Vegas. Could you imagine it? In Vegas, rubbing shop... Hang on, your strap's fast. This is live, anything can happen. Could you imagine, though, bumping into people, you know, stars like, I mean, could you imagine bumping into somebody like Sammy Davis?
With these hands I'll provide for you.
Dean Martin. Little wine, drink of me. Do you know? All them stars out there. One guy I'd like to meet out there, one guy, this is true. James Cagney. And he's still around. He's still around, James Cagney. Do you know what he's doing now? Bingo calling. Just to make a few quid, he is bingo calling. And could you imagine James Cagney calling bingo? I think it'd go something like this. Okay, friends, eyes down. Eyes down because it's bingo time, see? And the first one to call the wrong number gets a gutful of lead, okay? Let me eyes water. Okay, friends, eyes down, your first number. And your first number is Yankee Doodle, number Toodle. All the Toodles, 20 Toodle. What about Zanny Jerry Lewis? Could you imagine Zanny Jerry Lewis calling bingo? I think he'd do it something like this. Hold on, friends, no, it's bingo time. Hang on, no. Whoa! Oh, hang on, no, don't go away, no, friends, don't go away because I'm going to call this bingo, whatever happens. Ah, forget it. But seriously, one guy I would like to meet. You know who that is, don't you? Big John. Big John Wayne. Love to meet. You see that film last Monday? Rio Bravo? You see that? John Wayne and Walt Brennan. Magic. John Wayne talking to Walt Brennan from a scene from the film, something like this. All right, Stumpy. Get in that cell and look after that prisoner. Well, shucks, Tom. Okay, I'll look after the prisoner. I know my job, don't I? I know my job. Of course I know my job. 25 years I've been with you. Who's getting on to me and calling me, telling me what to do? I'm fed up with you. Stumpy, will you stop arguing and watch that prisoner? No, I'm going. Don't get on to me, I'm going. Ah, bless you. But that's America. It's not bad here, isn't it? Here, England, is it? Not bad here. Birmingham. I went to this pub this dinner time for a pint. Walked in, all these bull's heads hanging around the wall. All these bull's heads. Said to the gaffer, I says, what's the idea of the bull's heads then? Oh, he said, he's to be a bullfighter. I says, no. He said, did. I said, no. That looks a bit nasty, that one there, that black one. He looks a bad one. He said, don't talk to me about him. 2.5 hours it took me to kill him. 2.5 hours. I said, good out, didn't it? He said, yeah. I said, what about that one, that brown and white one? He looks a nasty one. Don't speak about that one. That killed my brother. I said, he said, it killed my brother. I said, was he a bullfighter? He said, no. It fell on his head when he was playing dominoes. Pardon? All right, I'm coming. Don't worry about it. Stella's on next. Gotta go. She's coming on next. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you. Thank you.
always do that, actually. You don't mind me. It's taken Colin 4.5 years to teach me that. Anyway, that was, of course, Baz Harris. Sitting here at the piano is Colin because, of course, in a moment, he's going to be accompanying the next act. A lovely lady who's back for the 3rd time, this time with a Burt Bacharach and Hal David song, Here I Am, and here she is, Miss Stella Starr.
Here I am, here I'll stay. All of my life we'll be together, you and I. I was afraid, but now my doubts and fears are gone. Here I am, and here I'll always stay. Wanting you, needing you. Don't let me live a single day without your love. You are the one thing I'm certain of. Here if I had to live my life all over, I wouldn't change a thing. If I had to live my life all over, I live a life that's full. Many times I had to pull my way to the top, never knowing where I'm gonna stop. I made my mistakes, but Lord, when I ran, it led me straight to you, babe, and it makes it all worthwhile. I wouldn't change a thing if I had to live my life all over. If I had to live my life all over, it's hard for me to think that somewhere along the way I'd have changed my course, and I wouldn't be here today. So I'll take my ups and downs, bear them with a smile, so let me straight to you, babe, and it makes it all worthwhile. I wouldn't change a thing if I had to live my life all over. I'd do it all again if I had to live my life all over. Here I am, here I stay. Here I am, here I
Yesterday I was happy to play for a penny.
That was the opening, of course. We had that as an opening film to this programme right at the beginning. We have a little bit of nostalgia today. We thought you'd like to see that little fellow again. He'll be back in another guise later on. We've seen 4 acts already on this Gala final. The panel, well, they've seen the 4 as well, so I think we'll come to Peter. Would you like to sum up what you feel so far?
Well, at the moment, it's a very close run race, but I think every act you can see as an improved during their performances. You know, they've done 2-3 televisions now,
Yeah.
and you can see each of them are working so hard to win they've worked on their acts, and I think they're admirable.
Fine. Coming to you, Mickey, perhaps. Is there any one of the four so far that you've rather liked?
Well, I do think that the improvement, actually, is one of the things that's come over very strongly. They've all improved so much. I don't know, I've got a little buzz for the girl singer so far, but...
little buzz for the early days. Tony, I mean, Mickey liked the girl singer so far?
Yes, I think that, Stella's got the experience that really shows on a show like this. But, you know, one can't discount Pat O'Hare, Poacher, because there's a panel of 6 here. We've all got our own particular likes and dislikes, and at this stage, it's anybody's show. Fine, and just one final thought, perhaps, from you, Bernie Rothkopf. It's nice to welcome you back here again.
Nice
Your yearly visit, I think.
Nice to be there. Good. Because, of course, one of our acts has been very successful out in your hotel, Roger de Courcy.
Roger's done very well.
How have things gone there? He's been back twice, hasn't he?
He has played with Dean Martin twice.
We have a little still of him. There he is with Dean. Dean looking in good form there.
In fact, Dean
he was standing
requested
up.
him as when he returned. Dean requested that he play with him.
I hope he plays with him again. But maybe you'll take one of these other acts and put him in with him or she or them or whatever with Dean Martin. One final thought from you, Danny, on the 4 so far. What do you think?
Well, of the 4, I have to say, you see, thinking that the artist, whoever will be chosen, will be going really into a cabaret venue. I think that's what one has to think about. And they are excellent. And most of them, I was on the panels when they have improved enormously in their act.
OK, well, we'll have more from the panel and from Danny later on. Meanwhile, they're going to have some more comedy, and so are you at home. And what a fella this is. 3 times in 4 weeks he's been back with us on New Faces. From Jarrow, although I think they're trying to disown him, Mr. Alan J. Barclay.
I've had some trouble getting here tonight. I've been to tell a lot of... I fixed the raffle at London Zoo. I thought I'd won a giant penguin. And I fought with it for half an hour trying to get out of the gates. Before I found out it was the head waiter from the Savoy Hotel on his lunch break. It's terrible. Yeah, but the policeman come round to the house. I won second prize, actually. I really won a second... Sit! 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 I don't even know what it eats. No, I had a policeman come round. He said, I want to see you. He says, your dog has been chasing an old lady on a bicycle. I says, he hasn't got a bicycle. But I taught him a trick. I was going to bring him tonight with a trick. I had a big hoop, and I set the hoop on fire, and I had a barrel full of petrol on fire, and I taught the dog to jump through the hoop into the barrel. He only did it there once. He went through the hoop into the barrel and went, woof! Woof! No. Sit! No, a lot of people say, what has New Faces done for you? Well, last week, I was on the front pages of the Daily Mirror. I was opening a supermarket. I didn't want to be on there. I was using a crowbar. And the policeman come, he says, surely you got a fee for doing New Faces? I says, yes, but I've spent it. He says, what on? I says, the crowbar. But no, really, now, since I've done this, I'm on 1,000 a week. And the doctor says if I don't cut them out, I'm going to get a bad chest. I'm still doing the clubs up in the northeast. And people are very hard. I was in a club last week, and I'm sitting in the bar, and this little fella, he's crying his eyes out. And the barman went over and says, what's wrong? He said, I've just lost me dad. He said, have you tried the lounge? Because I'm not frightened of dying. I've turned up here again, haven't I? No. The last time I was in hospital, the fella in the next bed to me, he had his pillow out on his knees, and he's playing it like a piano. I said, what's happened to you? He says, I've been reincarnated. I said, does that mean you can't have any children? He says, no, that's another one. He says, no, he says, I've been reborn. He says, I've come back as Handel. I said, you'll have to get a grip of yourself, man. So I went home with newfound knowledge. I walked in the wife, I said, I'm back. She went, ugh. I said, what do you think of reincarnation? She says, it's very nice, those little oranges and pears. I says, no, what I mean is when you die, you come back as something else. She says, oh, I think I'll come back as a pig. I says, no, you've got to come back as something else. I'm now going to finish the act with a feat of strength. I'm going to pull on the set a West Midlands bus with me teeth. And I would like to dedicate this feat of strength to two very, very dear friends of mine who are in tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Poole, and their son, Cess. Hello, Cess. And we're going to... The feat of strength. I'll kill that cat. Hello, new faces? No, I don't know what time the comedian's coming on. I've done the phone gag, forget it. The feat of strength. Albert, start taking the break. What are all those people doing on the bus? I don't care if you have taken the fares. I am not pulling this bus to Coventry. Right. Take it away.
J. Barclay. We didn't provide subtitles for you, Bernie, but I hope you enjoyed that particular act. Anyway, we have many more acts to see. Yes, we're only really about halfway on this program. And a few weeks ago, a lovely lady from Nigeria first appeared on this program. She took a song of Jim Weatherly's and really gave it the treatment that resulted in the panel giving her 120 marks out of 120. It hadn't ever happened before on the show. Well, she's brought another Jim Weatherly song here for the final today, so will you welcome, with the orchestra, Miss Patty Boulay.
I've gone as far as I can go alone. And now, I think it's time I sang a different song. You always said I'll change my mind. Well, so you were right, and I was wrong. Because after all the miles I've put between us, and all those awful changes I put you through, well, I've finally come to see the things that you've always seen. And I belong with you. My dreams have all been scattered by the wind to the corners of the earth and back again. Now I need a place to lay me down, someone to wrap my heart around. So after all the times you said you loved me, and all the times I know I've made you blue, I finally reached the point where you've been all along, and I belong with you. God only knows why it's taken me so long to realize I'm not the wandering kind. Some have to wander to find their way back home, but sometimes the road is so hard to find. So after all the pain we left behind us, and after all the strangers we've been through, if there's still a place in your life for me, then I belong with you.
Thank you very much. Well, there we are. That's Miss Patty Boulay, and I Belong With You. I'm very glad you noticed. Okay, after the program, maybe. Miss Patty Boulay and that young lady from Nigeria. Well, we've seen a lot of talent so far, a lot of fine singer there. We've got some more on the vocals to come. You know, we haven't had a jazz guitarist make the final before. We have today. And on his 2 occasions with us, he's done Laura and Here's That Rainy Day. This time he's taken a number more associated with Johnny Mathis, written by Earl Garner. And that's his contribution to the Gala final. A gentleman who, incidentally, has already got an album coming out called Sincerely Yours. So it's sincerely his now, Mr. Mike Johnson. Thank you very much. Well, that was Mike Johnson there. I wonder, how are you getting on at home? Remembering the panel have 100 marks at their disposal for each of the acts, and we've got a couple more for you to see. 7 acts gone so far, and to our last singer from this Gala final. Here's a gentleman who was born in Panama, raised in Birmingham, now living in Portsmouth, and at the same time very much a part of the London scene. He was in that very successful musical Hair, both in Paris and in London. But it's the recording career he wants to develop now, and it's the recording career that has developed through New Faces. This is his new single, Johnny Bristol number, called Love Takes Tears, from Kirk St. James.
And my fear is that you have learned just for me only. Sounds like the truth, yeah. But I can't recognize it, 'cause you disguise it, so I need proof. Well, baby, if you want love, you've got to take the pain now. Even if a flower needs rain to remain, my baby, love takes steam. And my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. Oh, baby, love takes steam. And my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. Yeah, I couldn't tell in springtime that girl to woman changed time if I touch your soul. Ooh, here we are at ring time, that promise everything time. Still I don't know. Don't waste your mind trying to understand it. You'll only find that's the way nature planned it. Baby, love takes tears, and my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. Whoa, love takes tears, baby, and my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. People might tell you that crying makes you weak. Oh, words in their eyes will say, if they could only speak. My baby, love takes tears, and my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. No, no. Oh, baby, love takes tears, and my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. Love takes tears, baby, and my fear is that you haven't learned to cry. Love takes
Yesterday I was happy to play for a penny or two a song till a fella in a black sedan.
The guys he appeared in later on in the series, so little bits of nostalgia again for you. We saw him earlier in Other Guys. Welcome back once again to our New Faces Gala final. We've seen almost all the acts, just one more act to come on. And before we meet that last act, I haven't heard at all from Rosalie. My fault, Rosalie. You're the only lady amongst all these fellas. What do you think so far?
Well, I think given that we're almost doing an impossible task, I mean, how do you judge a comic against a marvellous singer? I mean, it's like, well, I think it's pretty impossible. But as everyone said earlier, that the standard is very high by comparison with when we first saw them. It's very gratifying to see the...
You going to give us any little clues at all so far? Which are the ones you've rather liked?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with Danny when he mentioned about Stella Starr. I mean, she's certainly got plenty of oomph and glamour, and I think this is what we're looking for.
Plenty of oomph. Peter, what about you sitting beside Rosalie after 8 acts now? What are your feelings?
Well, after 8 acts, I'm more puzzled than I was when I first sat down.
He's giving away nothing. He's giving away nothing. Again, any little inkling about how things are going in your mind?
No, I think the girl singers are in the running.
The girl
I would
singers?
think myself. Yes.
I'm going to come to you in a moment, Danny, but just come back to this double act here. They're sitting together for the first time. Mickey, 8 acts now, you see.
Yeah, 8 great acts. Just to show the difference, I noticed that Kirk St James made good use of the orchestra, and Mike Johnson didn't use it at all, which I thought was a shame, because if he used strings with that, it might have just lifted him a little bit more. It just shows you how each artist decides to use or not use what the facilities are given here.
You like to take up on that point at all, Tim?
No, I think that the panel have said it all. I would just like to say something about the show. There have been talent shows galore in radio, television, and the variety theatre over the many years, and I think this show is the greatest. And I think possibly because we sit here, but every household in the country has a panel as well.
And they're all voting at the
It's a
moment.
pity you can't ask them at this moment.
Right, I'm sure they're having great fun. Danny, another say from you.
Well, I would have agreed with my friend at the end of the table. See, the great tragedy of this country, I've been in the theatre now 28 years, and we're going to miss this very much. There is nowhere for the young coming stars to be seen anymore. Variety theatre, which I started, is dead. There are a few theatres left all over the country where our young, marvellous talents that we've seen, that this programme and another programme has given great opportunity to young stars, and I'm very sad that the hierarchy have seen fit to take the programme
Do you know, I'm going to get accused here of something, but... I said at the top of the show, I said that was the last bit of sadness, and here we are being morbid. Really, we're on a celebratory mood we're going to be in. We've got a couple more great acts to see, and we've got one more act coming up. So we're not going to be sad, not for a moment. We've got 5 lovely people from Rochdale ready to go. Lovely Chris is their lead singer. This is their latest record called SWALK. And for those who don't know what that means, that's the sort of thing you stick at the back of a postcard or letter, sealed with a loving kiss. Civvy Street.
Nobody thought that our romance could be anything more than a fun
And that is the lot. You've seen the 9. Which is going to get this little busker? Well, the panel will make their decision shortly. But just before we go, before we hear from our guests today, a little reminder of some of the talent that you've met on New Faces over the past 4.5 years. I'm sure you'll remember these faces. Shawaddy Waddy, one of the top groups in Europe now. Sweet Sensation, who finished up with a #1 record after being on New Faces. Remember Trevor Chance, a fine singer from the Northeast. And the zany comedy of Mr. Al Dean from Liverpool. Miss Marty Kane, This Is Your Life the other week, if you remember. Roger De Courcy and that bear, back on a couple of occasions already to Las Vegas and doing extremely well. Jim Davidson, shortly to be seen on a new series on Thames Television. And that remarkable little fellow, Lenny Henry. And there was Brian Taylor. Great faces from the past on New Faces. And incidentally, Brian Taylor sent us this telegram. Would have loved to been there, but I'm working with Lulu in Glasgow. Good luck, everyone, and good luck to you, Brian. And we, of course, left out a couple of faces. The winners last year, the winners who picked up this gold busker. They're waiting now because shortly they'll be off to America to, in fact, open at the MGM Grand Hotel in Reno. Here they are with a number for our pleasure, Coffee and Cream.
See me. Well, I had to follow you, though you did not want me to. That won't stop my love for you. Can't stay away, living it all. Nights on Broadway, singing those love songs, singing up straight to the hot songs, living it all. Sweet songs through that crazy time. In my place, there are so many others standing in a line. How long will they stand between us? Well, I had to follow you, though you did not want me to.
Thank you. Coffee and cream, and good luck to you in Reno in June, I believe. That's when you're going out there. We wish you the very best. Coffee and cream. Right. Well, now to the marking. 9 acts. We have 9 acts to mark, and as always, the marks are out of 100, but we're going to vary it a little this time, because what we're going to do is go to each of the panelists on each act. So, in other words, when I go to Poacher, as I'm about to right now, Peter, each of you give your marks. Peter, off you go on Poacher.
88.
Rosalie.
85.
85. Danny.
85.
Bernie.
85.
And Mickey.
83.
Finally, Tony.
83.
A total of 509 for Poacher, the first act. You weren't terribly happy with that, were you, Tony, on that?
No, I was happy with them. I think they did a very, very good job. But I'm just thinking in terms of the overall structure of the entertainment industry. You know, it is very, very tough for a really authentic kind of country group like that in England. And I just think that also I'm more in sympathy with a solo artist that has got to work on their own there, doing it all themselves, than with the groups, because they can lean on each other.
I think I'm going to hear more from you on that later. Pat O'Hare's marks now, and again, Peter.
90.
90. Rosalie.
95.
Danny.
90.
Bernie.
89.
Mickey.
84.
And Tony.
86.
534 for Pat O'Hare. And Rosalie, you were giving the top mark there. Why did you particularly go a bundle on that?
Well, I think Pat has a beautiful voice, and I can't forget that. It's marvellous. As I said, when I was first on this show, I thought he had the sort of voice you could just wallow in. And
well, you wallowed, and you gave a 95. Thank you very much. 534 for Pat, an early leader. Baz Harris's marks, and it's Peter once again.
85.
85. Rosalie.
86.
Danny.
87.
Bernie.
83.
Mickey.
78.
And Tony.
79.
And that's 498 for Baz Harris. And Mickey, you gave lowest mark there. You weren't really into that, or what?
No, I just thought that, in fact, Baz was better on the first show, and he did come over tonight. It was a question of material and maybe a little bit of nerves, but it didn't happen as well as it did on the first show, and I'm just watching tonight.
Indeed. OK. All right. Well, those are 3 marks gone, an early to Pat O'Hare. And on now we go to Stellar Star. Peter.
95.
Rosalie.
98.
Danny.
100.
100. A first 100. Bernie.
87.
87. Mickey.
86.
And Tony.
88.
554. 554. Well, Danny. And a very emphatic 100 from you, Danny.
Very emphatic. I'm judging the artist that leaves Great Britain to represent us in America will be entertaining in a cabaret medium.
Yeah.
And I see no better artist for my money to represent Great Britain in America as a cabaret star than Stellar Star.
Well, that's praise indeed. 554 marks and a clear leader as we come now to Alan J. Bartley and Peter.
87.
87. Rosalie.
91.
Danny.
90.
Bernie.
86.
Mickey.
84.
And Tony.
84.
522 there for Alan J. Bartley. Rosalie, again, you were top mark on that one. What about Alan's comedy?
Well, I thought there was a lot of original stuff there, which I liked. By comparison with Baz, unfortunately, I thought Baz, a lot of his material was rather old and a bit tired, but I was pleasantly surprised with Alan, and I think it's much more difficult for a comedian on this sort of show.
Danny's also nodding there with agreement on
Yes,
that.
very difficult for a comedian, and especially as they're character comedians, which are much more difficult than just standing there in a lovely suit.
Tony, of course, has been the scourge of comics down here over the years. What about Alan J. Bartley's comedy?
Well, I think both of them were better when they originally won and on previous appearances. I don't know what it is, but material is the great problem, and obviously both of them have got great personalities, great futures, and I don't think that the fact that it doesn't look as though they're going to make it on this show, it doesn't make any difference. They are going to make it in the entertainment industry in general in the future.
Thank you, Tony. 522 then to Alan J. Bartley. But still, Stella Star leads with 554 points, and now to Patty Boulay. And that is you, Peter.
94.
94. He was hesitant there. Rosalie.
Yes, 94.
94 again. Danny?
95.
Bernie?
94.
Mickey?
92.
And Tony?
96.
565! Well, you're all of a muchness on that, all in the 90s. Tony, you gave top marks there for Patty.
The minute that she comes on there is something very special about her. I think that she has got a great future. I think she's got a kind of voice that will blend very well in recording sounds. But I think especially that she has contact, and that her facial expressions and her whole way of working are very much of today, very commercial. She has a definite future.
Thank you, a definite future. Bernie, you're nodding again with agreement. What about Patty Boulay? This is the first time you've seen her.
It's the first time I've seen her. I thought Tony
summed it up
very well. And
sort
I
of
agree
act-
with him 100%.
Yeah, the sort of act that maybe might go down very well. Of course, there's still some marking to come. We're more than two-thirds of the way through, but Patty Boulay must be sitting there wondering, is this going to be the time or not? Mike Johnson is the next artist to vote, and that's Peter again.
95.
95. Rosalie?
90.
90. Danny?
90.
Bernie?
91.
And Mickey?
80.
And finally, Tony?
78.
A total of 524 for Mike Johnson. And it was Peter who gave top marks there for Mike Johnson, as opposed to the rest of the panel. Peter?
Yes, I just like this guy very much. I've seen him twice before, and he's a very talented young man. He's worked very hard at his trade. He's learnt his instrument, and I think he's going to go far, and that's why I gave him top points.
Thank you. All right, top points. He certainly gave it on that particular section to Mike Johnson. 2 more acts to mark. And again, we'll stay with Peter as Kirk St. James's marks come up. Peter?
89.
89. Rosalie?
2 more, 91.
91. Danny?
92.
Another high mark. Bernie?
90.
Mickey?
91.
And Tony?
90.
5 of those marks in the 90s. 543 marks to Kirk St. James. Mickey, I think your mark was fairly average there on all the other marks. What about this gentleman, Kirk St. James?
What do you say about me all the time?
You've looked after a heck of a lot of male artists in the business.
Yeah, I thought, as I said earlier, he worked very well with the band, and he worked very well with the cameras, and he's got a very, very infectious voice, and it's probably currently, the sound of his voice is currently what's popular right now, so, disco-wise anyway. And that's probably the reason why 91 was scraped out of me.
Anyway, it's a high mark, 543. One band have been waiting all the way through this series of marking, and I'm sure they want to know their marks right now. Civvy Street is the band, and Peter, you have the last marks from you in this programme. New faces, off you go.
85.
85.
84.
Rosalie gives 84. Danny?
88.
Bernie?
88.
Mickey?
92.
And Tony?
Sorry, the very last mark comes from me. 93.
530 for Civvy Street. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk St. James finished up in 3rd place with 543 very high marks. In 2nd place, Stella Star with 554. And the young lady going to Las Vegas in only her 3rd television appearance, and the last act ever auditioned for New Faces, who scored a maximum a few weeks ago of 120. She wins the lot, the last show, and that is Miss Patty Boulay. Patty Boulay. Well, the busker's been taken out of my hands because coming on to present it is the ATV's director of production, Mr. Francis Essex. Francis, would you like to come on and give this lovely lady her gold busker?
Well,
oh, you lucky fellow.
Very proud to have launched you on a marvellous career. Well done and congratulations.
Thank you, Francis.
And that is almost that. You can become overcome in about 30 seconds' time, because that's really it. We've enjoyed being with you every week. Indeed, we've been enjoying 170 shows with you on New Faces, something like 1,000 acts. It's goodbye for now, but who knows, I'm sure very, very soon there'll be another talent show on British television. From all of us to all of you, from the panel and everyone connected with the programme, goodbye. Goodbye.